Today, we got a shorter video here for you, but still an important one. When it comes to lie percentages, that's what this video is all about. If you did not see, I covered all about slopes when it comes to lies yesterday. Downhill, uphill, side slope, left, right. Everything you needed to know is in that video, and all the calculations have been fully tested as always. Do not forget to like and subscribe. Today's all about this percentages, and I'm going to talk to you today about how a certain percentage that displays 98% of the time is the actual result of what you're looking for. So you can really only pay attention to one percentage. So let's dive right on into it. As always, all I ask in return, a little like, a little subscribe, share it to other people who need this information. Let's get on into the video. Quickly, so that way people can understand, I always do these at the beginnings of the videos. In the bottom right corner, and I'll blow it up right here, you're going to see what is called lie percentage. What does this mean? Lie percentage is how bad the lie is compared to your standard shot. If you're in the fairway, then you most likely have 100%. So that means if this shot here says 43 yards, which it does, and this actually said 100% instead of 88% to 90%, then the shot would go the full 43 yards. But since it says 88 to 90%, it's essentially saying it's not going to go 43 yards. It's going to go 88% or 90% of the way to that 43 yards. So in this situation, 90% is 38 yards, 88% is around 36 yards. So it's saying that this shot, if you hit it full and perfect, it's going to go 36 to 38 yards. It's not actually going to go 43 yards like it's supposed to go in a perfect lie. So that's essentially how lie range actually works. Now, when it comes down to it, there was a very consistent trend across all clubs, all lies, all situations. And that is, this always displays two numbers. It didn't matter if it was in the 50%, it didn't matter if it was in the 90%, 70s, 80s, it didn't matter. It will always display a high percentage, a 90% in this situation, and a low percentage. 98.4% of the time, it went the distance of the higher percentage. So what does that mean? In this situation, 90% is the higher percentage, the one on the right. So this shot should go the 90% mark rather than the 88% mark as expected. So instead of it being a range, it always teetered towards the higher percentage when it came to the range. So I'll give you an example here. 90% of 43 is 38.7. We hit this shot perfect like this, and you can see in the bottom right corner, it's going to fly 38 yards, 38.39, which is 38.7%. And I'm going to give you a couple more examples just to prove it to you. But I've hit hundreds of shots, as I always do when I come to these tests. And every single time, it always went out to the higher percent. So let's go over here into a gnarly lie. And I got this grass really high right here. And it didn't matter if it was a wedge, 5-iron, 3-wood, didn't matter. It always teetered towards the higher percent. So in this situation, we have 178, and then we take 90% of that. So in this situation, right, we have 178 yards, and it says 88 to 90%. Take the higher one, so this is 90%. This ball should fly 160 yards. Hit a perfect swing there because I am on swing. And then in the bottom right corner, it's going to say 160 yards. So we're talking about carry distance here, and in that situation, and I can go and we'll replay another shot, and I'll just prove to you it didn't matter what the club was. It did not matter if I was hitting a 3-wood, a wedge. Obviously, the more lofted it is, and I checked this in very extreme roughs. I changed it in bunkers, very little extreme roughs. I went all the way down to 50% roughs. Anything you want. It did not matter. So just a quick and short video for you here. There's two examples there for you, but you can go through the entire gambit of experiences and challenges and rough lie percentages. 98% of the time, it always came down to whatever the higher percent was. So when you are calculating it, whether you're using a calculator on your phone or whether you're calculating it in your head, you can always play to those advantages. And when it comes down to those, you just have to always pay attention to clubbing up. I usually just club up about 1 to 2 clubs, especially when it gets to about 70%. That is a nice tip there for you. Play around with it. Always lean towards the higher percentage. Quick, short, to the point today. Do not forget to like. Do not forget to subscribe. Let's get some more birdies.